Hello. 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 Are you able to hear me? ఏం బాబు హలో చెప్పు హలో ఏం చెప్పమ్మా ఏ హలో హోస్ట్ కెన్ యూ ప్లీజ్ రెస్పాండ్ ఓపెన్ యూనివర్సిటీ హోస్ట్ మీకు వినపడుతుందండి హలో Hello. 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 Jai Shri, can you please unmute and tell me whether you are able to hear me? Jai Shri, are you able to hear me? Hello. Okay, good morning. I just came to know just now that if I don't have any participants in the Zoom, I can still go ahead with the class since some people may have logged in through YouTube or later perhaps you can also perhaps access the recording later. And I just came to know about this situation from the authorities of the Open University. And so from next time onwards, whether I have a participant or no participant in the Zoom meeting, I will go ahead with my explanation to the extent possible, but I would definitely be happy if somebody is there because interaction is always the most important thing that we need. Nevertheless, please do feel free to WhatsApp me on my number, which you can get it from the university. And if you, when you go through the course material, and after you finish listening to my conversation, one-way monologue, then you can still feel free to ask me any questions that may arise as a result of you are going through the course material, as well as you are listening to what I'm trying to say in today's class. So we will have today, we'll discuss block two. We had discussed in earlier class, the last class, we had a couple of about four participants last time. This time I have no participant, but still I thought I should go ahead with what needs to be taught in today's class. So we'll just try to see today the different models of public relations. There are ways by which we can really, there are different methods, different models which are adopted by the public relation practitioners or the PROs in their respective organizations or offices or companies or corporates. So historically also we have been having a good number of, but the most important models that we'll see different models of PR is that one is the oldest one, which is known as the press agentry. Press agentry is like the press agents, people who deal with the press, people who try to, so as a PRO, you will be getting in touch with the media or the press. Now the press is different from the earlier press. The press in earlier days was the printing press actually. It is from that particular word that this press has been derived. But now press has taken a different name, different connotation, and it is now called as media. And it is also now known as the, if you talk about media, it's now through mainstream media and social media. And of course, you now also have the new media also. So press agentry or publicity is one of the models that is adopted for anyone who wants to publicize their company, perhaps their product. So there, in this particular model, the speciality of this model is that it is only one-way traffic, and it is only to give some kind of a propaganda. The purpose is to tell the public or to spread the publicity. So where do you normally come across this? Where is it practiced? That is very important. What is the nature of communication? So in case of the press agentry, or also known as publicity model, the nature of communication is one way. Okay, it is also complete truth, not essential. So one way means I will tell something to you, and I'm not giving you chance to tell me that what I am saying is not 100% truth. So complete truth may not be there, but that is not essential here. So how can it be possible? So in this model, we have only two people. One is the source. For instance, I am the source. Now you are listening, you are the receiver. That's all. I am only informing you, and I'm giving you publicity. I'm giving you information. You are the receiver. I'm not seeking your feedback. I'm not seeking anything else. So it is very difficult for me to know also how your response is with this kind. Maybe, publicity. And so I give a pamphlet, that is a publicity. So I don't know how many will read it, how many will put it in the trash bin or anything also. Or maybe in the radio, like in good olden days, they used to go in the streets and announce, today there will be a kabaddi match, so all of you please come. Or today there is a circus, three shows, so 2, 6, and 9, like that. So where practiced. So this press agentry or publicity model is normally practiced in sports, or maybe there is a drama, or maybe there is a nukkad, or maybe there is a promotion of a product. All of you please come. Okay, they may attract you with say free cool drink or free samosa or free refreshments, or they may say the circus is going on here. So this is one model where uh, PR people associated with the organization, like a circus company, like a sports event, like a theater drama company. So you are in a position to spread the information to people so that they may come and participate. You have created adequate publicity. So they will come to circus, pay money and take the ticket and come inside. Now you may say this is propaganda, sir, some kind of advertising. Yes, somewhat like that. It is almost free. So here nobody pays money to anyone. You yourself take up the responsibility of say printing the pamphlet or maybe arranging everything and said so you are investing some money here. It's to for publicity of your organization or the event or any such thing. So that is the model name, the first model. Another model is information, public information. This is very important. All of us know how public information is given, say, by the government. Like, for instance, information on vaccination, information on COVID, information on testing, information on prevention, what you do. So some information is given. Now, second model is known as public information model. What is the purpose of this? It is to give information, to disseminate information. And now this information, though this is also one way, because government may put posters, wear mask, it may put, it is one way. But here, what is important is truth is important. Here, truth is important. So, truth is not so essential in the first model that we discussed, press agentry or publicity. But in case of this, public information, public identity, something like public is also known as government actually. Public is also known as someone who is responsible body. So public information given to public cannot be untruthful, cannot be partially truthful. It has to be 100% truthful. So even though it is one way, even though you will not be able to know the feedback from the people, but one poster is enough. Suppose there is a poster, Jamiganda PHC, vaccination will take place from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Suppose you put a poster, so people will automatically come because they believe that you're, yes, by 8:30 they are there in the queue. So your work is starting. So this is what is known as public information model. Here also, two people are involved. Source, receiver, no feedback. First model, no, there is a possibility of the truth not being 100%. In this, we expect the truth to be 100%. Okay. But one of the most important thing is that we have, when it comes to nature of research, how will you be able to get the, you know, very little readability readership? We don't know how many will read, how many will see, how many know to read and write, how many, somebody may see the poster, may not understand, may ask somebody passing by, kindly read that and tell me. So we really do not know whether what we have given is really going to work, but you will give, for instance, you will inform, say through TV, maybe through radio, maybe through now Twitter. Now we have got so many sources. We have got so now many channels through which you can communicate. You can send it through Twitter, you can send it through Facebook. So the Department of Health can have its Facebook page. It can put it. So now public are very, very modern. Public are no more like the earlier illiterate people. There are many people who may see and inform those people also. So where is it practiced? This kind of public information. Where is it practiced? Government. Okay. In government, they do bring it to the notice. Suppose there is some communal disharmony regarding the hijab and the scarf. So government can give an explanation so that they can try to bring down the tempers and they will give the correct information so that people are not agitated. This is one of the ways of public information model. So non-profit organization, non-governmental organization, non-profit organization, the charitable institutions, social organizations, organizations which do public service. So they can also think about this. Okay. Or people who are in the business can also, as part of corporate social responsibility, okay, sir, we'll take care of the publicity. You don't worry. We will take care. And so the corporate body may also step in, may give some money, may fund for your campaigning, for your public information, dissemination. So this is the second model that we have got. The first model is again press agentry or publicity. The second one is known as public information. This is the second model. Now, there's one more thing which is known as two-way asymmetric. So, what do we mean by asymmetric? Okay, what do we mean by asymmetric? Symmetric means equal parts. So, when you put something in when you go to a vegetable shop, in a way you will see that it is balanced. Your product and the weight, they both are balanced, and you will see the central needle, and then you buy the product. For instance, now, now that is symmetric. Asymmetric means sometimes what happens, there is a possibility of greater feedback from the receiver or more information from the source. It can be more or less. When it is more or less, it is known as asymmetric, two-way asymmetric. So two-way it is imbalanced in favor of sender, in favor of sender. So which means I am giving more information than I am getting from you. I may get a little information from you. I may not be ready to hear everything that you tell me. Suppose I give you an information of 5 minutes, I'm not ready to listen to you even for 30 seconds. So asymmetric. But if I give 5 minutes information, I give you 5 minutes to listen to you, symmetric. Yes, there's a good feedback. So mutual understanding will be there. So two-way imbalance in favor of sender. In favor of sender. So suppose I'm on behalf of an organization, I'm trying to give some information. It is two-way asymmetric. So there are two types of models here: two-way asymmetric, two-way symmetric. The two-way asymmetric, source is there, receiver is there, and there is a feedback. So there is a source, there is a receiver, there is a feedback. Okay. Now what will you do because of this? Now nature of research because of this. So you may be able to evaluate the attitudes on the basis of the feedback that you get it in two-way asymmetric. So maybe, it may be favorable, the feedback may be not favorable. So according to that, you will be able to evaluate, oh God, if I'm putting my product in red color, there are many people who are giving the red nako, red is dangerous. Can you please give blue? Majority are asking, say, for instance, blue. So the attitude, so they're thinking about the shape of the product, for instance, size of the product, quality of the product, color of the product, for instance, only an example I'm telling you. So they will be able to evaluate how the receivers are responding to what you have given information. It may be less or it may be more. When it is either less or more, it is asymmetric. So where is this actually practiced? Where is it practiced? This kind of model of public relation is normally in competitive business. So in competitive business, you don't know, you have Colgate, you have Pepsodent. They adopt their own way of, disseminating information, selling their product to understand the receiver's pulse. So they may be again adopting some changes, modifying their model, so modifying their approach. So this is in competitive business. Okay, Colgate wala aisa kar raha, to Pepsodent fellow may also adopt some other innovative methods. Some innovative methods. So so who does this innovative thing? A PR expert. Maybe you will have a team. They will have a brainstorming session, and then they will come across on the basis of the feedback they get, on the basis of the attitudes they try to learn, then they will try to come up with something new. So in this model, there is a scope for improvisation, scope for modification, scope for proactive response, scope for totally changing. नहीं नहीं बहुत गुस्से हैं, सब लोग बहुत गुस्सा है. So totally you may revamp. And this is possible because of competitive business. So please remember, many people are also sometimes the same. Many people also feel surf. They're not getting much response. But there's new surf. When you put new, suddenly this word new has found favor with the people, and you got a very good feedback. So what is new? Let me see. So this kind of situation is there where you will have in this particular model, a feedback on the basis of which you can try to. So where is it practiced? It is practiced in competitive business. It is practiced in agencies. Sorry. Okay, it's practiced in agencies and also, one minute. Yeah, okay. Let me get back to that page so that I teach you in a uh, in a uh, in a sequential manner. So this is what we mean by the third model and the fourth model. The fourth model is two-way symmetric. So far we discussed public agentry or publicity model, one way, public information, one way, two-way asymmetric, two-way, and at the same time you have feedback also. Two-way symmetric. Here the moment symmetric means a lot of balance is there. There is mutual understanding in what you are trying to convey the information. So it is two-way, it is balanced. Okay, it is a two-way and it is balanced. So I would like you to know that two-way symmetric also works a lot, a lot. In most of the organizations, this way of this model of public relations is highly appreciated, highly welcomed, and is supported, is supported by both the sender and the receiver. So here you have a lot of mutual understanding. You are having two-way approach. You are having balanced approach. That is, you are not you are yielding to some extent. Is also give and take would be here in this. So you are neither you are rigid nor your receiver is rigid, nor your receiver is too free, nor you are too free. Both of you are striking a via media solutions, a via media situation. So you're more balanced that way. So please remember, so group and group to group, for instance, mutual understanding. So maybe a company to maybe a group of people or maybe a public PR team, you are getting in touch with some other people. So there is a lot of mutual understanding. This is known as two-way symmetry. So equal push and pull would be there here. In case of two-way asymmetric, there may be more push, less pull, or more pull, less push. In case of this two-way symmetric, it is not like that. It is almost like when you pull, he also allows you allow him to pull. So both of you are in a very balanced state of mind, balanced state of purpose, balanced state of research, balanced state of practicing, balanced state of communication. This is very, very important for all of you. Now, here what happens is that when you have this kind of a situation, your research will enable you to evaluate yourself, your receiver, and you are able to have a better understanding between the both. So neither of you have a complaint against each other. So this is what we called it as a mutual understanding in the beginning when we started discussing about the two-way symmetric model. Okay, now who does this? Regulated business. There are people who have the regulated business, their agencies, everything is in place. There is no confusion with the client or with the public. There's no confusion. Everything is matter of business. Everything is no nonsense situation. Everything is no nonsense business. So this is how we can discuss about these four models of PR. So please remember that these have a lot of how do you apply this model. This is very important. We also have seen how we try to apply these particular models, how applications of models, whether we are now discussing in the classroom, are we in a position to really apply them? Yes. And there are many tools for that available for public relation practitioners, particularly social media platforms. All of us know Twitter, all of us know WhatsApp, all of us know Instagram, all of us know Facebook, all of us know so many things that are evolving. The new things are evolving in terms of communication. But as you know, listening, reacting, and responding, they take skill. They result in commitment. They take time. So it over a period of practice, over a period of time, you will be able to really, have a sort of understanding of how information can be disseminated through various, sources, through various channels actually. So strictly speaking, we cannot really find a particular model not fit, a particular model most fitting, but it all depends on how you actually, how you're able to organize, how you're able to engage the model with a complete assessment of PR strategy and execution. Please remember that is very, very important such thing. What are the most important thing that you should know is, there are many examples, of how you will be able to keep, keep updated yourself and see that you're in a position to, catch up with these four models of communication. Having finished this particular unit, we will now see what we mean by RPCE. There is one model which is known as RPCE. RPCE, it is the name itself, it is there. R means research, P means planning, okay, C means communication, and E means evaluation. Now, this is the objectives of these four objectives have been, abbreviated, and we have said that as the RPCE model. So please remember, in this kind of a model of communication, model of PR, public relation model, what we do is we have about four steps. All of you know that when we want to give some information or we want to do some PR exercise, we don't just simply go to the press and then give it away. We do a lot of work. We first should know what is the problem. So why is the problem? We have to do some kind of a little bit of homework, which we call it as research. So there are many kinds of problems which PR people look for solutions. There are many public relations solutions for the problems that you face. If you remember, I told you in the last class about the fire accident in Secunderabad Club. So when you want to give a PR, maybe some kind of an explanation with regard to the public relations, you want to see that your image of Secunderabad Club is kept up, then you will definitely be doing a lot of research. Actually, what was the problem? Fire accident. Why it happened? Where it happened? When it happened? What are the damage that happened? So you will be able to you're doing some kind of research there. You're going to do a lot of research. What will be the fallout? Political, commercial, economic. Okay, what is the fallout? What are the things that may have happened because of my public relations? So don't think it's that easy. You are doing some kind of research. You're doing a lot of homework. And you know that we all know Wilbur Schramm, a very good communication expert, who is the one who said that feedback is always the best tool. We have seen many teachers just teach in the class and go away. They don't care about, whether the students are able to understand. But a good teacher will always give a pause. When I teach, I stop. Then I ask some of the students to give their feedback. Now, their feedback is really helping me to improve my teaching ability, teaching quality, because I will then be knowing that, oh God, here it is. I have been continuously telling for 15 minutes, and I come to know that none of the students understood what I was trying to say. So this is what we mean by what we call it as in terms of this. So in research, we always look into what is known as feedback also. So research is a means to an end. So please remember to diagnose the problems. Now research, how can it be? Research anangane we get scared. Something we have to do microscope laga ke. No. In public relations, what we do is informal research. So I pick up my phone and make some inquiries. So what do you feel the Secunderabad Club? You will try to talk to about 10 people. Out of 10 people, 7 people say maybe it's a short circuit. So he's able to do some research. So what is in people's mind? You're getting the feedback. 7 people feel it is short circuit. One fellow feels it is a sabotage. One fellow feels it is political. One fellow feels that it is corruption to get back the insurance money they themselves involved in fire accident. So 3 people have differed. 7 people have agreed that it is a short circuit. So your research has helped you to know informal research techniques. You have done this through personal contact. Through gatekeepers. You can also do through gatekeepers. Gatekeepers means who are the people? Gatekeepers are editors in a newspaper office. reporters. Teachers are also gatekeepers. They know what's happening between the students. There's a drug problem, but teachers are in touch with the students and they know who is getting the drug from where. They are also gatekeepers. Taxi drivers carry so many passengers. They are also gatekeepers. Postmen also know. They are also people who will be able to deliver. Not only that, they also know who is getting what, for instance. They may not reveal that information, need not. So village headmen. Now all these people are gatekeepers, means they are like watchmen. They're able to know village headmen of everything, what's happening. Uri Pedda, the village headman means Uri Pedda, Peddalu. They'll be knowing what's happening. Maybe domestic harassment, maybe dowry harassment, maybe rape or molestation, child abuse. So you're in a position to know. So you're able to get a lot of information. Restaurant waiters. So restaurant waiters are there. So like in Secunderabad, employees, for instance, waiters, union leaders, watchmen, and in the Indian context, even Panwala. Here Panwala also will be able to know. Even a barber also is able to know, give you some information. మొన్ననే hair cutting వచ్చిపోయింది సార్ ఈ మాట చెప్పిపోయిండు. So you're able to, so either through personal contact, whom you know, or even if you don't know, you're able to get in touch with so many kinds of people, you know, about what is in the minds of the public. What is the response of the public? Say X issue is there. Fire accident or Visakhapatnam gas leak. What is that people are thinking? So you are able to do research. In RC, in RPCE model, research is the first step. So you get all the things. Then you may also get mails. You may ask some people to, or you may give some questionnaire. Okay, you may get whatever is there, you will be able to get. What is the area? What is the problem? Okay, in case of John F. Kennedy, used to tell every 50th letter you send it to me. Every 50th letter. So means suppose there are 300 letters, so you'll get 6 letters. Every 50th, 50, 101, 150, 200, 250, 300. 6 letters he will have on his table. And he will read these mails, these letters. So he's able to have an idea of what public is thinking. So he doesn't know who is that 50th fellow, right? At random he picks up, maybe he puts some like that, or maybe nowadays everything is there, computer randomized, and you can take a thing and then try to do your understanding of what's happening. So please remember, there are many people who say that we listen better. Ford Motors used to always launch "We Listen Better" campaign. So they used to get a lot of letters because of that in those days. Nowadays, of course, everything is instant, you are able to get it. Another method of research is through field reports. So your people who are in marketing, your agents, your field officers, who go into the thing and then they file their reports, periodical reports. Like for instance, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting has a department of field publicity. Field publicity officers, they are in the field. So they go to every nook and corner of the country to disseminate information, okay, on various issues. At the same time, they have a lot of talking points. Then they get it. Then they also try to get some. They try to provide reports, okay, which also contain informal feedback. So maybe you are able to get even through focus groups. Sometimes you can get focus groups who will be able to do this. And then you're also doing what is known as media content analysis. All this is an informal way of doing it. But then there is also a method by which we call it as the formal methods. Formal methods of formal research methods. So formal research method means what? What do we mean by that? Okay. It can also increase the effectiveness, internal and external communication. So it will help you. Formal means what? You are putting certain benchmarks, such as standardization. You're also doing some communication audits. You will do social audits. You will also do community opinion studies, attitude studies, and a survey of social issues. For formal, the word formal itself tells that everything is in a very disciplined manner. Everything in a predetermined manner. So that is what we mean by that. Informal can be, plus or minus. But in formal, it is not like that. Like, for instance, in government, how we do it, we have a questionnaire, we do it. So there is a formal way of, like in police, people have an investigation, they have a formal way. They don't investigate as they like. They have procedure because they're tomorrow they are answerable to the court. So they have their formal research methods, or for instance, formal investigation methods. So all those things are taken into consideration. Okay. In fact, there were 200 people, like Municipal Corporation of Hyderabad also had a fact-finding research. Fact-finding means they wanted to know the truth. Then when they went about and they went around the city, not now, I'm talking to you about 1960s, when it happened, when Dr. C.V. Narasimha Reddy was the father of public relations, was the PRO of the Municipal Corporation of Hyderabad. He did a research and then he found out that 200 people became the victims of dog bites. Daily newspaper, somebody came, no, he found out by his research that 200 people were the victims of dog bites. So this is a formal research, what you call it as method, formal research method. Second, so one is informal, one is formal. So in RPCE model, the first stage is, the first step rather is research. The second step, as we have about 7 minutes, second step is planning. Now that you have done some research, now that you have information, and now that you will be now chalking out a planned program, a well-planned program. And what is that you are going to do? You're going to implement some things. For instance, you got a feedback, 200 dog bites are there. Now you will plan a program. How to prevent this? So your approach will be number one, sincere. Number two, dog bites should not be there. Number three, firm and positive. You are serious, you are sincere, and you are adopting a positive approach, and you're going on the roads, you're ensuring that the dogs, the street dogs are captured, they are vaccinated, and again released, so that the dog bite is not leading to rabies to the victims. And then you have a comprehensive plan. A plan hai, North Hyderabad, South Hyderabad, East Hyderabad, West Hyderabad. He is the in charge, is the in charge, is the in charge. And then you will also be sending those teams. So you're planning out a particular program. You're also planning out simple messages. You're very clear in your approach. And why are you able to be clear? Because you did your research. You have not done informal research or formal research. So planning is another important area which is normally done to, this is the second step, where you will have a timetable for your campaign, where you will have budget for that, where you will evaluate also what you did. Sare manam ippudu chesamu, how much money we spent, was it spent usefully, what is the feedback, is it a successful program? All those points are also included in this planning. Now the third step, communication strategy and implementation. Communication strategy and implementation. So what is that? How will you know? You did research, now you did planning, but how will the public know the good work that you're trying to do, the good work that you have already done? And then this is where you will be actually getting the approval of your management. Sir, we would like to have a TV campaign. We have planned thoroughly. We have done research. Okay, he will ask you how much you will do. Or you may say multimedia attack or multimedia approach. You may say, I want to campaign, like now, for instance, COVID is there. We would like to have multimedia approach through TV, through radio, through print, through online, through social media. So you will be able to do this. And that is the third step, where you will be adopting a strategy. So your strategy is to see that whatever you disseminate is seen, is read, is listened to, radio or newspaper or on TV, and it must be believed. Please remember that your communication strategy is not simply to communicate because my officer has given me money, I'm spending it for the campaign. No, it must be believed, which means the content that you prepare in disseminating the information should be thorough, should be believable. Number two, and it must be remembered. Yeah, I remember these fellows did some campaigning for the dog bite. I remember those people coming and campaigning that there will be a test done in some particular PHC. And then it must be acted upon. Because you are able to remember, as a member of the public, you are going and taking vaccination. So don't think if a vaccination program is so many out of 4 crores of Telangana people, 3 crores have taken the vaccination. It is not only the success of the government, of the PR team, but it is the success of the people who understood and they acted upon that, which means your communication strategy was so good that nearly 3 crore people out of 4 crores have taken their vaccination. Means your PR strategy has worked, your communication strategy has worked, your way ability to convince the public has worked, your ability to convince the old people to take their booster doses worked. So it must be acted upon. This is a third most crucial stage which will decide the success or failure of your very objective of public relations. Please remember that this is the most important step, but this step uh, is is, uh, is strong because you followed the earlier two steps. That is research, planning. Now let us take the fourth step, for instance. The fourth step. Now this is very important. Many times we get criticism. Many times Modi is criticized that bodies are floating in Ganga. Modi is criticized that migrants have gone away. So what is essential for us is evaluation. So Modi will also be very careful. KCR will be careful. They'll be thinking, okay, so far you have done, you are telling, but please evaluate. Please tell me the results and its impact. Not simply telling me successful అయింది బాగా భజించడం కాదు. It should be based with facts. It should be based with documents. Today, Telangana government is able to boast because it has got documented the COVID certificates. 3 crores have got vaccination. He is able to prove tomorrow. And the central government Ministry of Health also is telling Telangana is the number one state, for instance, in vaccination. And it cannot make statements like that unless it is proven, unless it is proven documentary with document, with proof. Okay, with a very, you know, a proof which will irrefutable evidence, we call that. So you should be able to take, for instance, evaluate. And we can have example of evaluating, say, for instance, a company's house journal. You can also see, for instance, how your communication strategy worked. Has your communication strategy reached? Has it got credibility? Have people understood? Have people really read what you tried to do? This is what you will be doing as your last step of your, what you call it, as the RPCE. So evaluation, without evaluation, next project will be a failure for you. But with this, I think we have completed a good number of 2 units. Next class, we will see what we mean by the tools and media of public relations. So today we try to discuss the models of public relations, models of communication, PR models. Okay, PR models are those we discussed about agentry, press agentry, or publicity. We also discussed about, the way we went about 1 minute. No? So we also discussed the second one, the third one, and the fourth one also. For instance, let me tell you, the second model is what we discussed as the public information. Two models are one way, two models are two way. Two models are one way. One model is truth may not be so important. Second model, truth is most important. Third model is two-way asymmetric. The feedback may be less or more. Two-way symmetric is where you have everything balanced. Information given out is balanced. Feedback received is balanced. They both you are trying to compare, and there are a lot of mutual understanding. That gives you feeling of achievement. Those are all the things like, for instance, application of models. How do we apply these models? That's very important for us. And we also saw the 4 stages of RPC model. Okay, research, planning, communication, and evaluation. So with this, we'll wind up the class and we'll meet in the next class again. Hopefully, with people participating. Your participation will help us to have interaction and will also help you for your improve your communication skills. Unless you say that you don't have time and you'll have this kind of problem of participating in the class. So please try your best to come and then participate in the class. Thank you very much. I take leave now.